Hello mysterious family, welcome and welcome back to Mysterious Mariam. I am Mariam AHSAN and today we are going to talk about the murder conspiracy of Madhumita Shukla, whose conspirator is living life of luxury while serving his life sentence. Before getting deep, let me put forward a fair warning and disclaimer that this video is for educational purposes and all the information taken is present online. Let's get started. Madhumita Shukla was born on April 30th, 1981. She was living in Lakhimpur Kheri, India. She moved to Lucknow and became a prominent poet. It is said that Madhumita Shukla used to be a powerful poet of Veer Rasa in those days. Madhumita became very popular at the age of 16 and 17. In her poems, she started targeting all the big political leaders, including Prime Minister of the country. Madhumita Shukla, who became famous for her flamboyant style, became pride of Hindi poet conferences. As her fame grew, political ambitions also started growing in her. Now, in one of the conferences, she came across Amarmani Tripathi. Amarmani Tripathi was born on February 14, 1956. He was married to Madhumani Tripathi and had a son from that marriage, Amarmani Tripathi. Before entering politics, Amarmani was listed as someone who had a long record of offense with 33 criminal cases pending against him, including 5 relating to murder. After joining politics, Amarmani was instrumental in several large shifts of allegiance involving dozens of ministers of parliaments, thus influencing the formation of several governments in Uttar Pradesh. He has been a member of Indian National Congress, Bhujan Samaj Party and Bharatiya Janata Party. Amarmani became successful in becoming member of Legislative Assembly MLA in 1989. He was re-elected from Lakshmipur in 1996 elections from Indian National Congress again. Tripathi again won election in 2001. He was a Minister of State this time for institutional finance but was dismissed in December that year after the kidnapping of the 15-year-old boy Rahul Madisia, son of a businessman. The kidnappers told the police that Tripathi had provided them the bungalow in Lucknow to extort money, from where they were arrested. Getting back to Madhumita, the moment Madhumita and Amarmani met, Amarmani, despite being married, fell head over heels for Madhumita. The two grew closer. Madhumita's name was associated with many other politicians of that era. She became a star poetess. She began to participate in big poets conferences. Amarmani bought a house for Madhumita located in Paper Mill Colony and they kind of started living together. During the relationship, Madhumita became pregnant 2 times and despite wishing to become a mother, she had to abort her pregnancies on Amarmani's pressure. And when she got pregnant for the 3rd time, in spite of the pressure and persuasion by Amarmani, Madhumita refused to abort this time. Amarmani's wife, Madhumani Tripathi, was upset when she learned about the illicit relationship between Amarmani and Madhumita. She made several calls to Madhumita and her family members to threaten and abuse them. During the end of March 2003, Madhumani Tripathi informed Rohit Chaturvedi, cousin of Amarmani, that she was troubled by her husband's relationship with Madhumita and requested him to help her to teach a lesson to Madhumita. Rohit Chaturvedi therefore introduced Santosh Roy as a person who could help her. Madhumani told Santosh Roy that Madhumita should be finished, whatever be the expense. On April 14, 2003, when Rohit Chaturvedi came to Lucknow, where Madhumita was living, Madhumani asked him to instruct Santosh Rai to do the work assigned to him without delay. On the same evening, Rohit Chaturvedi informed Amarmani that Madhumani wanted Madhumita to be eliminated. Amarmani was no longer interested in Madhumita whatsoever, and she was becoming a nuisance by insisting not to have the abortion. Amarmani felt that if Madhumita gave birth to the love child, it could adversely affect his image as a politician and minister and also cause problem in his family. Amarmani told Rohit that they can do whatever his wife instructed them, but taking care to see that his name was not linked to the incident. He also stated that being a minister in the UP government, he would protect them. Meanwhile, Madhumani kept on pressing Rohit to get the work done. On May 1st, 2003, Madhumani told him that all the limits have been crossed, her patience was drained, and action should be taken immediately. Madhumani rang up Rohit several times to tell Santosh Rai to do her work, and Rohit passed on the message to Santosh Rai. Santosh Rai met Madhumani in this connection on May 5th, 2003. Santosh Rai assured Rohit that the work will be done within 2 to 4 days. On May 9th, 2003, Santosh Rai along with Prakash Pandey went to Madhumita's house. He knocked at the door. Madhumita's servant Desraj opened the door. They gave a good reason to see Madhumita, so Desraj let them in. He called Madhumita to see these men. While Madhumita was talking to Santosh and Prakash, Desraj went inside the kitchen to prepare drinks to serve the guests. While preparing the drinks, he heard gunshots. He immediately ran toward Madhumita to see if she was safe. That when he found her on the floor and there was no one else in the room. He ran towards the door where Santosh and Prakash might have fled, but he found no one outside, and Santosh and Prakash's bike were missing as well. Madhumita was shot through the heart to death with a country-made pistol from a close range. Nidhi Shukla, sister of Madhumita Shukla, lodged a report in this regard to a blind murder of her sister Madhumita Shukla on May 9, 2003 in Mahanagar Police Station, Lucknow. The investigation of the case was taken up by the SHO of Police Station Mahanagar, Lucknow, Mr. Ajay Kumar Chaturvedi. He collected all the relevant information, provided shelter to a lone witness Desraj so that he could not be harmed, and took the investigation into the house of Amarmani Tripathi. On the intervening night of 9th May and 10th May 2003 at about 1 in the night, Amarmani called Anil Agarwal, Senior Superintendent of Police, SSP, Lucknow, and made inquiries about the murder and informed him that he or his wife had nothing to do with the murder and that his wife was a very simple housewife and he should help them. When Anil Agarwal learned that there was a 6-month-old fetus when she died, the body had been handed over to her relatives without removing the fetus. He immediately instructed that the body should be brought back and doctors should remove the fetus and preserve it for the purpose of further investigation. Amarmani, finding it out, again called the SSP and told him that he knew Madhumita and she was a simple girl. There was some mistake in the report that Madhumita was pregnant and the body of Madhumita had already started decomposing, and the family should be permitted to proceed to their village immediately with the body so that the funeral could be performed before sunset. On May 10th, 2003, Amarmani met Nidhi Shukla and Shanti Shukla, sister and mother of Madhumita, near the mortuary and informed them that he will handle the entire situation and threatened them to be careful while making any statement and not to link him or his wife in regard to this murder. During the second week of May 2003, Amarmani called Madhumita's mother to his house and threatened her once again not to involve him in this case. On May 15th, 2003, Amarmani again contacted Anil Agarwal, the SSP, and informed him that from his own sources and investigation, he had found out that Madhumita was married to Anuj Mishra, a student of IIT Kanpur, and he had located the priest who had performed the marriage in November and December of 2002. He also stated that if the marriage could be proved, the aspersion cast on his character can be removed by showing that the Madhumita was pregnant on the account of her marriage with Anuj Mishra. He instructed the SSP to send Yagya Narayan Dikshit, a police inspector, to him so that he would tell him what is to be done to prove such marriage. Yagya Narayan Dikshit suggested and threatened Rishi Khare, roommate of Anuj Mishra, to admit that he was a witness to the marriage of Madhumita with Anuj Mishra. Amarmani also threatened Rishi Khare that he can be framed by showing that a country-made revolver, the murder weapon, was recovered from him, thereby landing him in the jail. Some prominent media outlets were also invited by him, and he told them that he had a major scoop which would turn the entire story of Madhumita's case upside down, that Madhumita's case was not being investigated properly and he was doing his own investigation and he has been able to identify the real killers of Madhumita, and that Madhumita was married to Anuj Mishra and the marriage was performed by a priest who was present in his house at that time, and he introduced that priest on the evening of May 16, 2005. He called Anil, the SSP, to inquire about the progress and sounded very anxious. When SSP Anil asked Amarmani to send the person who had given the information about the marriage of Madhumita with Anuj Mishra to his office, and he will decide who should be deputed to verify the matter. And guess what? The very next day, on May 17th, 2003, SSP Anil Agarwal was transferred from there at the instance of Amarmani. The Criminal Investigation Department of Uttar Pradesh, CID, had sent the 6-month-old fetus of Madhumita on May 26, 2003 to the Center of DNA Fingerprinting and Diagnostics in Hyderabad for finding out its paternity. The Hyderabad Institute submitted its preliminary report to the CBI on May 29, 2003, which reportedly communicated that the fetus matched with the blood sample of Amarmani. Amarmani had originally shown reluctance to submit his blood sample. Later, for not towing the government's line, the government transferred investigation to Central Bureau Criminal Investigation Department. In June 2003, the chief investigator in the case, Mahindra Lalka, who was also the Director General of CID, was suspended by the state government and then reinstated within 45 days as government realized that Mr. Lalka was right, and also Mr. Lalka had a huge official support behind him. A senior Indian Police Service officer claimed that Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Mayawati actually had ordered the suspension of Mahindra Lalka simply because he refused to give Tripathi a clean chit, a strong and powerful member of Mayawati cabinet. So this is where I am going to end part 1. Part 2 will be uploaded in 2 to 3 days. I will link that video in the description of this video. Do drop a like if you found this case interesting. Don't forget to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments below. And I will see you in the part 2. Bye.